Most games based on a movie aren't given much chance for success. Those odds get even worse when that game is based on a movie that was based on a comic book. Then again, everything producer Pete Wanna touches is pretty much gold. So when I heard the man behind The Thing and Chronicles of Riddick video games was putting Swedish developer Grin in charge of a game based on last summer's Wanted movie, I actually started to care about how the game would turn out. Everything seems so promising, but after playing through the game, it appears Wanted has lost his Midas touch.
But I never knew about the little things.
Wanted Weapons of Fate picks up mere hours after the conclusion of the film. It seems that Wesley is the target of the fraternity of assassins yet again, and will do what it takes to prevent his demise at their hands. Along the way, you'll play some flashbacks as Wesley's father, Cross, to fill in some backstory on why Wesley is currently a target. There are some allusions to what may be happening in the movie sequel, but whether or not the eventual follow-up picks up on these story points is another matter entirely. Like the film, the game is full of action set pieces. The story may not be very memorable, but for better or worse, the action sequences will be. Gameplay in Wanted is a strange beast. There are some incredibly cool and fun things to do in the game. Grin's cover system is one of the best in a game to date. Wesley's cover animations are smooth and fluid, and even when you're behind cover, you never feel stuck there. There are a few things you strangely can't take cover behind, but the rest of their system works so well you won't complain. Curving bullets is also a fun mechanic. Unlocking the ability makes the game much more fun to play, as you'll constantly be trying for that perfect kill cam headshot. Thankfully, the ability is tied to a meter, which fills up whenever you kill an enemy. You'll also be able to slow time for a few seconds if your meter is filled, and while it's an okay addition to the game, it pales in comparison to the actual slow motion events. Occasionally, there will be a point in the game where you'll only be responsible for moving the aiming reticle while Wesley moves in slow motion. These moments are some of the most fun in the game, and after finishing one, you'll be anxiously awaiting the next. It's a shame how fun bullet curving and slowed time can't save this game's more derivative and uninspired issues. Sniping is pretty bad, though that's mostly due to the fact that you only get to use a sniper rifle during specific scenes where you'll be handcuffed to one position, and there's only one level of zoom. The only things worse than the sniping in Wanted are the moments you'll be forced to use a turret. The turret handles like a tank, provides cover only in the basest sense of the word, and you'll find these instances to be much more frustrating than they're worth. Boss battles are equal parts easy and boring, as they amount to nothing more than standard bad guys that take a few more special shots to go down. Once you complete the game on either Pussy or Assassin difficulty, you'll be able to play through again on Killer. Though unless you're a true achievement whore, I can't see anyone feeling the desire to play through the game a second or third time. There are some pretty interesting unlocks available, including playing through the game as Janice, Wesley's boss from the film, or as any of the boss characters you encounter along the way, with the exception of Aranya, who was replaced by the original concept character Spider, a fat white guy with a bad haircut. To say Wanted looks good is an overstatement. It doesn't look terrible, but the graphics are inconsistent at best. While running and gunning through a board, character models don't look too bad, and environments are pretty well rendered. As soon as there's an in-engine cutscene, it's apparent that not everything is as polished as it first appeared. Neither Wesley or Cross look quite right when at a standstill, and the locales become very grainy and pixelated when not being rushed through at top speed. The 5 or 6 enemy character models are exactly the same throughout the entire game, the only difference being what color hoodie they're wearing. Voice acting from the main characters is actually pretty good, and though some of the dialogue is a bit cheese-tastic, even for an action game, the actors do a good job with what they were given.
Maybe you will learn to fly.
Generic bad guy dialogue is as repetitive as their costuming, and being called a pussy or motherfucker over and over again can surprisingly become pretty annoying.
To please.
Then your bloody aim is shit. I came for the loom, not for you, asswipe.
The biggest disappointment with Wanted Weapons of Fate was how close they came to almost getting it right. The few shining gameplay features like the cover system and bullet curving just can't overcome the numerous flaws the game has in just about every other department. The distinct lack of multiplayer should have made the single player a much more focused experience, but it didn't, and players will be wondering what to do next after completing the game. Maybe my hopes were too high, but Wanted misses the mark, and ends up being a mediocre effort only fans of the film or comic should even attempt to play. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the full text review on Gamervision.com.